Jungkook stuns public by unbuttoning shirt. New tattoo sparks wave of speculation and concern among fans in an event that no one saw coming. Jungkook, global pop sensation and BTS member, removed his shirt in public, revealing a striking new tattoo that instantly ignited a storm of speculation across the internet. Why now? Why in such a public setting? And more importantly, what does this tattoo really mean? The moment unfolded not on stage or during a planned appearance, but in an open public space where cameras were not just welcome, they were waiting. Fans, media outlets, and bystanders captured the unexpected act as Jungkook, without hesitation, slowly unbuttoned his shirt under the glaring light of a summer afternoon. The atmosphere shifted in seconds, from admiration to confusion, then to a deeply emotional unease. Because what he revealed was not just a tattoo, it was a symbol, a message, a scream, perhaps masked under ink. Witnesses were left stunned, not just by the audacity of the moment, but by the design that now rests permanently on his skin. The tattoo, located on the upper left of his chest, was bold, raw, and unlike anything Jungkook had shown before. Gone were the aesthetic flourishes or hidden meanings typical of idol tattoos. This one was deliberate. Its size, its placement, its intensity, none of it felt random. Within hours, fan communities across platforms like Twitter, Weverse, and TikTok lit up with theories. Some believed it was a direct response to his recent trip to the United States. Others claimed it marked the beginning of a personal rebellion, a shift in his artistic direction. But what many couldn't shake was the possibility that this wasn't a stylistic choice. It was a cry for help. Jungkook has never been a stranger to expressing himself through body art. Over the years, fans have watched his collection of tattoos grow, each one appearing during periods of transformation. Yet this tattoo carries a heavier tone. Its symbolism, reportedly resembling a shattered hourglass surrounded by Roman numerals and black thorns, immediately stirred emotional interpretations. Was it about time lost? About suffocation? About entrapment? Observers noted the grim expression on his face during the reveal. There were no smiles, no playful gestures. His gaze didn't seek attention. It looked far beyond the crowd, as if addressing someone who wasn't there, or perhaps addressing something inside himself. This wasn't just a show of skin. It was an act layered with defiance, vulnerability, and perhaps finality. What's more haunting is the silence that followed. No interviews, no posts, no captions explaining what had just transpired. Instead, the world was left to decipher it on their own, one frame at a time, one theory after another, spiraling deeper into a mystery that seems calculated yet painfully personal. What led to this moment? Sources close to the idol suggest that Jungkook has been undergoing a silent transformation behind the scenes. Following months of intense overseas activity, cryptic social media posts, and visible withdrawal from typical idol interactions, many suspected something was amiss. His recent absences from group activities and a noticeable change in body language during interviews did not go unnoticed by attentive fans. The six-pack transformation, the piercing gaze, the subtle isolation, each was a breadcrumb leading up to this very moment. The tattoo is more than body art. It's a coded message. Some fans claim to have enhanced photos to detect Latin phrases embedded in the design. One frequently cited interpretation: tempus non expectat. Time does not wait. A chilling phrase for an artist whose life has been dictated by schedules, rehearsals, and rigid structure since the age of 15. Another recurring element in the theories: the presence of 7 thorns, possibly representing the 7 BTS members. Only to notice one thorn appears detached, fading. The speculation doesn't end there. Internet detectives have pointed out the eerie similarities between the new tattoo and lyrics from an unreleased demo that leaked years ago, believed to be written by Jungkook himself. The lyrics spoke of confinement, broken trust, and the weight of expectations, words too raw to fit the polished image the industry once demanded. Was this tattoo the physical embodiment of that unreleased pain? Still, one question lingers more persistently than the rest. Was this moment spontaneous or carefully orchestrated? The location, crowded yet controlled. The timing, midday, with optimal lighting, the angle strategically facing a line of cameras, the absence of staff interference. Everything about the incident feels like it wasn't an accident, but a performance, one not for applause but for release, or perhaps for accountability. What is Jungkook trying to say? Fans aren't just guessing anymore, they're worried. The emotional toll of being an idol, the mounting pressures post-military postponement, the ongoing scrutiny from the label and the media, all weigh heavily on someone like Jungkook, whose every breath is watched, dissected, and debated. This tattoo, in that light, could be seen as resistance, a declaration that he's reclaiming his narrative, even if it costs him everything. Analysts have pointed out that this moment signals a potential shift in his career trajectory. For years, Jungkook was seen as the golden magne, the perfect blend of talent, looks, discipline, and humility. But what if the very image fans fell in love with was the cage he's trying to break? Could this be the beginning of his departure from the brand image carefully cultivated by his agency? Industry insiders have reported tension brewing between Jungkook and certain senior staff members. While no formal confirmations exist, the timing of this public act, along with his increasingly independent fashion choices, music experimentation, and cryptic public appearances, suggests a deepening rift. The audience's reaction to this moment was divided. Some cheered, calling it empowerment. Others stood frozen, unsure how to process what they had just witnessed. Still others broke into tears, claiming they could feel his pain through the act. Online, thousands of fan essays poured in within hours, dissecting the possible meanings. Professional tattoo artists weighed in on the ink's complexity. Cultural critics debated its symbolism. Psychologists warned of the potential mental health implications behind such public gestures. What's certain is this: nothing about that moment was casual. Jungkook knew the cameras would catch him. He knew the image would go viral. He knew the tattoo would provoke. And he did it anyway. Which brings us back to the original question. Why? Why now? Why this message? Why through pain? And why in front of the world? Some say this is an act of liberation. Others believe it's a desperate attempt to be understood. Still others fear it's a warning. But one thing remains undeniably clear. Jungkook has changed. And he wants the world to know it. Whether this is a precursor to a major solo announcement, a sign of artistic awakening, or something far more personal and unresolved, remains unknown. But the emotion in that moment, the stillness before the reveal, the haunting stare, the inked truth on his skin, left an impression far deeper than any press release or music video ever could. This was not just about a tattoo. It was about reclaiming control, about challenging the silence, about speaking through skin when words were no longer enough. And now, fans across the globe are left asking the same thing.